Good morning, students. Class is addressed for to B and B.Sc.CS students of fourth semester. So that this is our first digital class on job application. So we learn today how to write a job application. So you must be knowing that by the end of your 3-year course, you will be appearing for several on and off campus interviews. So in order to get a job, you need to approach an organization, right? So how do you think you would communicate to an organization that you are interested in? You can do this by sending one job application along with a resume. So what is a job application? A job application is also known as a cover letter. It is a letter which you send with your resume to provide information on your skills and experiences. This letter is your chance to sell yourself to an employer, explaining why you are an ideal candidate for a particular position. You have to make sure your cover letter is formatted properly and is free from errors before you send it. Now I'll show you a format of a cover letter which we generally follow. So you can see that at first on the left hand corner we write down the date. How will you write the date? You have to write down the date in some expanded format. Like you should not write the date like 24.03.20. How will you write? You have to write like 24th of March, comma 2020. Understood? Then what do we write? We write the sender's address. So who is the sender? The sender is you yourself. You have to write your name and a short address of you. So you can see that we are maintaining one particular alignment, that whenever we are writing a job application, you have to follow this full block style. What is this full block style? Full block style is writing everything on the left. So you should not write the date on the left, then again sender's address on the center, then receiver's address on again right. You should not do that. You have to write everything on the left hand corner. So after writing the sender's address, you have to leave a line of space, then write down the receiver's address. Who is the receiver? The receiver is the person whom you are addressing this letter. It may be some HR manager of any company. Suppose his name, his position, and the name of the company where he works. Understood up to this? Then again leave a line of space, then write down the subject. A subject is in very short what you are applying for, like in which position you are applying for. For example, application for the post of programmer or application for the post of a software engineer. Okay, then comes the salutation. What is salutation? Like addressing that person. What is, we do not write respected sir or respected madam nowadays. What do we write? We either write dear sir or dear madam or only sir or madam. Understood? Then comes the main part of the job application, that is the body. The body contains the whole content of the letter. This body is generally organized into 3 parts. What do I mean by parts? I mean paragraphs. So in the first paragraph, you can begin the body of the letter by mentioning the source from where you got to know about the job, along with the day, the date, and the advertisement number if possible. Also mention the post you wish to apply for. Then comes the second paragraph. Here, you are supposed to offer your candidature by briefing about your qualifications, achievements, and previous experiences and your strengths. In other words, this paragraph should be the answer to the question, how are you the perfect candidature for the job? Here you have to be a little careful, like your language or your tone should not sound boastful. Rather, it will be good if your letter is to the point and very clear. Now comes the third paragraph. In the third paragraph, you should show your eagerness and enthusiasm. Here you can also appeal for a one-on-one interview. You have to end the body on a very promising note. Like, for example, looking forward to your positive response. Okay, then comes the closing. How will you close the letter? This is also from the left hand corner. You have to write at first thanking you. Then on the next line, you have to write either yours truly or yours sincerely. Then your name, and this comes to the close of the job application, after which comes your signature. You have to at first sign your name, and below that you have to write your name in block letters. After the signature, a very important thing is also left, which is the enclosure. What is enclosure? Like if you are attaching something with this job application, for example, it can be your resume, or it can be the copies of your certificates, or a photograph. Understood? Now I show you a sample of a job application. Can you tell me by now what are the purposes of writing a job application? Like, uh, what can be those? Those can be to highlight your relevant experiences or your abilities, or your application letter should show how exactly your background makes you a good fit for a particular position. In contrast, your resume is a general record of your experiences, education, and accomplishments. So, what are the do's and don'ts of writing a job application? As you can see on the sample, that your approach should be very professional. Application letters have a fairly rigid format. As an employer reads your letter, he will be expecting some certain information from your letter. You have the freedom to change a little bit within the structure, but it is important to stick to a certain level of formality. And you have to pay very attention to the salutation. Like you cannot address the person or the recipient by his or her first name. Either you have to write sir or you have to write madam. Then you have to proofread the letter very carefully. What is proofreading? Proofreading is to check the letter if there are any grammatical or spelling errors. Understood? What are the other points which you should keep in mind? Like the format, which I have shown you. You have to follow that format. If you are sending a typed hard copy of your letter, be sure that you are writing the date at first, then the sender's address, followed by the receiver's address. But if you are sending an email, you can omit the address and the date section if you wish. Always remember that the cover letter the cover letter has the ability to catch the employer's attention. And if you can do so, then there are fair chances to get shortlisted for an interview. What are the other points you have to keep in mind while writing a job application? Like your tone should be extremely enthusiastic and it should show some positivity. Do not forget to highlight your strengths. Okay, and always write the application at first and then the resume. You should not do the mistake of writing the resume first and then the job application. It is the other way around. You have to write the job application at first and then the resume. Since your application letter is accompanied by your resume, make sure that the letter does not duplicate your resume exactly. For example, the information should be different. Whatever you are mentioning in your job application should be different from the information that are mentioned in your resume. I hope you have understood what I am trying to explain you. You can note down this sample of job application, and if you have still further any query, you can email me on my email ID, that is oindrila.dottoroy88@gmail.com. Thank you.